All right, here we go. All right, so we're doing the midterm review. All right. Where's the hold on, where's the video thing? I just had it. I just had the freaking video things, dude. Oh, what is it again? Is you go to view? Where's the view button though? Disable hide names. Oh, here we go.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I got it. Freaking A, dude. Okay. All right. So to study for the midterm, what I would utilize the most are PowerPoints, right? So if you really are concerned about it, you can print out the PowerPoints and then you can write little notes on them. I don't think you need that, but you can if you want to. PowerPoints are going to be the biggest source of information for you right now. And then the lectures are going to be the second biggest source. So what I would recommend is you go through this list, you look at this topic. Hey, what is this topic? Where can I find the answer? Find it within the PowerPoints. You got it. You're good. Okay. And then if you don't understand it, that's when you go into the lecture videos and you can check it out there, or you can ask me the question. Okay. So it's pretty straightforward. And then if you have any questions, of course, shoot me an email. Remember, for the midterm, do not use outside sources. Please use the information that we've been over in this class. It's very straightforward. Okay, that's kind of my whole deal with ChatGPT to begin with, right? I don't care if you use it to write your essay, but I care if you get your information from ChatGPT. Your information needs to come from this class. Okay. Great. So let's open this up. What do archaeologists do? What do archaeologists do?
They study the past, the culture's past.
Yep, great. Yep, they try to recreate the culture from the past. Very good. Okay. Um, what is human imagination? Or sorry, I shouldn't say what it's why is human imagination important? Two reasons.
To interpret the past.
A little bit, not so much. What is some more? Water.
The ability to it's the human capacity to create recreate something that isn't physically present right now.
Okay, yeah, that's part of it. That's a definition. But why is it important?
Because of culture.
Because of culture, yes. And what about culture?
If we didn't have it, then it wouldn't.
Yep.
Then cultures wouldn't develop.
Beautiful. That's it, right? If we did not have human imagination, culture would not exist. You need human imagination in order for culture to exist. And what's the second thing that's important about human imagination?
See, I needed that.
What's the second thing that we would not have? Or sorry, what would happen if we did not have human imagination? There's one more thing.
No cultural traditions.
Yes, that's the main one. That's the main one. But what's the second one?
The societies we would have.
Don't think too hard. How would we all think if we did not have human imagination?
We wouldn't have been able to interpret the past.
No.
We would think very singular.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
You got it, right? We would be thinking the same. Okay. So the first thing that's important with human imagination is that culture comes from human imagination, right? We would not have any culture. And the second thing is if we did not have human imagination, we would all think the same. Okay. Now, to add a little bit of context to that, right? The reason why that's important is because a lot of people think that we domesticated because it's the most efficient choice, right? However, as you know, as we all know in our lives, we don't always choose the most efficient choice. And just like humans back then, that's not the reason why they chose domestication. They chose domestication for a number of other reasons, but it's not going to be the same reason all across the board. Does that make sense? Okay, everyone clear? So, archaeological record, right? What are the four things that archaeologists look at?
Surveying.
Nope, no, that's not that one. That's I think that's a little bit lower, actually. That's number 5, yeah. What are the four things that they find?
Artifacts.
Yes, artifacts, 1, good.
Context.
Contacts. No. What else? What else? There's
Sites.
yeah, sites. Good. That's one. That's why we have two now. Artifacts and sites. There's two more.
Ecofacts.
Ecofacts. There we go. Ecofacts. The last one. We have artifacts, ecofacts, and sites. There's one more. The big boys. No one knows the big boys? What's an example of an artifact?
The tools.
Yeah, tools, great. What's an example of ecofact?
Oh, like bones.
Yes, bones. And then what's an example of this? Well, a site is just like where you find that stuff. There's one more. There's one more thing that we're missing. The big boys. The big boys. That's the clue. It's the big boys.
What's it called? Buildings, not buildings.
Yes, but that's what it falls under. Yeah.
Yeah, structure.
Yeah. Well, features. They're called features.
Features,
Okay.
yes.
The stuff. What defines a feature is something that cannot be moved. Okay. Artifact, ecofact can be moved. Features cannot be moved. Okay. So that the obvious answer is like the pyramids, right, or like buildings. But if you think about other things like gardens, like graveyards, right, that you cannot move those things. Like you literally cannot move it. It's like too difficult to move. Okay. Those are the four things. Very good. Preservation. What are the things that affect the preservation of artifacts and ecofacts and stuff?
Weather.
Yep.
humidity,
Weather. Good.
Um,
Writings?
Say again.
Does writings preserve?
Yes, but what environmental stuff affects the preservation of it? Yeah. This was pretty easy too.
Like the material.
Yes, the material, right? Is it organic or inorganic? Okay.
Right.
Yep. That's like if it's like a metal spoon versus like a spoon made out of a bone,
Good.
the one that's metal is gonna last longer in the ground, right? Very good. Yep. Weather is a big one. Climate. Yep. Good. What else? What types of environments like does it survive better in?
Cold.
Cold,
Yes.
good.
Dry.
Dry, good.
And
And
the
the-
rainforest.
Yeah, and the wet, right? Those are the three things, right? Cold, dry, and wet. They can survive in all three of those environments, right? So cold, usually when it's really cold, it's kind of dry anyway. But like cold, right, could be very dry. So cold like Siberia, dry like Arizona, right? I mean, we talked about that. Native American tribes, very good research down there. And wet though is also possible, such as Florida, right? Things in between those are not so good. So places like New York, San Francisco, they're kind of not so great. What else is there? What else is there that'll affect the preservation of the archaeological record? Why else is New York and San Francisco a terrible place to have
Because-
archaeological record?
Is so the population.
Yes, there's a lot of people, right? And so like if Walmart's building their freaking, super center over this archaeological record thing, you're probably never going to see it again. If someone's farming and they have those like tractors that dig up the dirt and stuff, you're probably not going to have any archaeological record there because they're going to destroy it. Okay? Very good. And then what's one more thing? It should remind you of like 007, like James Bond stuff. What's another thing that affects the preservation of the archaeological record? We will sometimes find jewels in, a tomb or something.
Oh,
What?
the robbers.
Say again. Say again.
Looting.
Yeah, looting, right? Yeah, right. The people who like to collect stuff, right? And the security you're gonna hire is gonna be like KCC security, and the person they're gonna hire to get it from you is probably gonna be like, some ex-CIA agent. It's gonna be very difficult for you to keep it. Very good. Okay, that's pretty much it. And for preservation, if you still have questions, you can always just go through again. This is all in the PowerPoint, so it's pretty straightforward. Now, number 5, sites. What are the 3 ways in which archaeologists find stuff?
And that one is through surveying.
Yep, surveying. Good.
Excavation.
Say again.
Oh, sorry, excavation.
Oh, that's later on. How do we find it? How do we find it? So surveying is one of them, and there's 2 more.
Interviews.
Interviews, good. One more. Yeah, look at something.
Can you repeat the first one? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the first, they're actually out of order, but the first one is actually interviews. Okay.
Okay.
And the second one would be what kind of like document would you look at to look for stuff? Yeah, maps. And then the last one would be surveying. Okay. So interviews, maps, and then surveying. Okay. And then within surveying, there are 3 different ways to survey. What are the 3?
Pedestrian.
Yep. Walking around. Very good. Second one.
The planes.
The plane. That was the last one.
Geophysical, the machines.
Yep. The machine thing. Yeah. The thing that shoots out the little, little light ray things. And then it like comes, if it bounces back to something there. Yes. Very good. But basically walking, planes or helicopters, and then the machine thing. Okay. Now, social organization. What have archaeologists divided our human history into? What's the smallest group and then the biggest group?
Band.
Bands, good. Number 2.
Tribe.
Yep, tribes, good. Number 3.
Chiefdom.
Yep, and last one.
That one, state.
Yep, that's it. Very good. Okay, that's it. And there are, individual things you need to know about each, but basically bands is the smallest and the biggest is states. Okay. And you guys just look those up in the PowerPoint. It's like right there. Okay. Ethics. Okay. Does anyone remember what NAGPRA is? NAGPRA.
It's the Native Americans. They under
Yep.
the law.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. Native American Graves Protection Act. And it's just basically a law enacted to protect Native Americans from archaeologists and researchers that are being jerks in the past. Very good. All right, feminist perspective. That one I'm not going to explain. That one just look it up in the PowerPoint, you get it. But basically it's not about like, oh, women are the best. It's more about, hey, women are usually ignored in previous perspectives. And so we need to bring them back in. But there's a specific thing with the quote that you need to look up for the test. Okay. Now, moving on to chapter 7, this is to me a little more important. Niche construction. What is niche construction?
The biological part of it.
Yep, the biological part of it. And what does it mean though? What's the definition of it? Birds nesting. Beavers building a dam. Anthills. No, nothing.
How
The way animals act are like dependent on their habitat or their area.
Close. You're close, Michelle. You're close.
how we modify the environment.
There we go. How we modify the environment, right? So when we say what niche construction is referring to is animals, right? How animals would modify their environment. Okay, so again, like beavers building dams, birds building nests. Our humans' version of niche construction is domestication. Now, this is the money point. What is domestication? What is domestication?
Way we
Like bringing
reproduce.
wild animals. Animals and plants.
Yes, but there's a specific definition that I'm looking for.
For aging.
For domestication, yeah, for domestication. What is specific? What is, especially in this class, what is the definition of domestication?
The way we produce the animals.
So close, so close. We have control over. So close. Population, part of it, not really. We're really close.
When humans control the reproduction.
Thank you. There we go. When humans control the Oh, whoops. Wait, what? Moving what? Oh, when humans control the reproduction of a plant or an animal, that is when they are domesticated, right? So for animals, it's very obvious. We keep them in pens. We pick basically when they mate and when they have babies. We pick all kinds of stuff, right? With plants, you know, we grow rice in like a beautiful row. We make sure our berries are planted in like these nice little like columns so that they all organize. That is control over the reproduction. That is when we have that particular plant or animal domesticated. Okay, there are a lot of animals that we can tame, but we cannot necessarily control the reproduction. Okay, very good. And social complexity. So this is kind of an important question. How did domestication, or what is the most important contribution that domestication has made towards our social complexity? This is a very specific question.
Is it the sedatism?
Yep, sedentism. Okay, it forced us to stay still. If you ask ChatGPT or Google, it's going to say that it provided us with a lot of food, which is very true. But in its development stages, forcing us to stay still was actually the most important thing, because you can't plant stuff without staying still. Okay. Now, what did anyone remember the points that create a socially complex society? Socially complex society.
Population, hierarchy,
Yep.
internet,
Yep. Oh,
technology.
yep. All those things, right? Higher level craft production. Yeah. So again, this one is something that's easy. Just look up in the PowerPoint. Okay, this is not something that we need to go over like right now. It's not like a deep concept. Are there any questions about anything in archaeology? Are we good? Cool. All right. Now, social culture anthropology, ethnicity versus race. What is the difference? The different definitions for ethnicity, race, and nationality.
Race has to do with the physical appearance.
Yes, good.
Then ethnicity, nationality has to do with your citizen or origin.
Yes, very good. Citizenship, yes. And then
And
then ethnicity.
ethnicity,
It represents the ethnic group or groups that the person belongs to as a part of their ancestry. Like
Yes.
flavor, like in the jelly bean video.
Like
Beautiful,
in culture,
yes.
right? Ethnicity is like culture.
It's their cultural ancestry,
Yes.
which is what made it complicated with Diablo and Adam.
Right.
Right. Yes. Very
Yes,
good.
because
Yes.
even though they were both American, one culturally or ethnically was Mexican per se.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. And actually, even more complicated, if they were to correctly label themselves, they would be ethnically Korean because it's about their ancestry.
Oh,
Right?
right.
Yeah. So that makes it even
Yes.
worse. Right. And so,
Yes.
yeah. Okay. Good. Very good. Yes. Very good. Very good recollection. Okay. And so, actually, the good transition. We're going to talk a little bit about Diablo and Adam. Right. If you were to describe their race, ethnicity, and nationality, it would tell you very little about their cultural background. Okay, so racially, they are both Asian. Ethnically, they are both Korean, and nationally, unfortunately, they are both Korean as well. Right. So, and that's what caused this whole thing. Actually, is that their nationality is Korean.
Wait,
Yeah.
isn't it because we had that question on the assignment, but I wrote that Diablo and Adam are both Asian according to the race and are both Korean according to nationality.
Yep.
But according to ethnicity, Diablo is considered Mexican, and I'm sorry, Diablo is considered Mexican, and Adam is considered white American.
Right. So technically, you're not wrong because that's what the intention of ethnicity is. But going by the definition that we're given in like America or like the way that we categorize ethnicity, it is actually that they are Korean, which doesn't make sense, but that's why I brought it up.
So, and when we do write in the okay, so this is what I answered in the homework. Is that wrong or right?
So in the homework, I'm not gonna take away points, but it's technically incorrect. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's not a you thing. It's a society thing. And so, anyways, the reason why I brought all this stuff up is because, as you can tell by our definitions, right? The definition of ethnicity does not accurately describe their cultural background. if you were to describe freaking Diablo and Adam as Korean, would that accurately depict their cultural background? Heck no. It would definitely not. So why are we describing our ancestry? It doesn't even matter. Okay. In addition, right, and I gave you the example, right? A black family who has roots in, a family that's been here, that's from Jamaica, 3 generations, 4 generations, lives in Atlanta, versus a recent immigrant family that lives in Flatbush that just came here from Jamaica. Their cultural backgrounds are both Jamaican. Are they going to be the same? No, of course not. Definitely not, right? And so that's why these definitions are just drawers where they try to fit people in. And yes, they might fit people in to a certain degree, but they do not fit everyone in. And we have to remember that these things are, these drawers, how we define ethnicity and race and nationality are all culturally constructed. That's the main thing, right? Is they're culturally constructed. And they're created a lot of times just for convenience. Okay, which is not bad or good. It's just we have to acknowledge that. So when you see things like, oh, black families in America do this and that, like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about like black families that live in freaking, Kansas versus black families that live in Flatbush? Those are very different black families. Okay, and that was the whole, like, kind of the whole point of that whole thing. And the last thing that I want you to take away is is how we develop truth, right? Is by visual. Because if we were really basing race off of biology and ancestry, Drizzy Drake wouldn't be considered black, right? And the other girl, Rachel Dolezal, Rachel Dolezal would have been found out to be white much earlier, but because we perceive ethnicity and race and everything with our eyes, it depends more on their physical appearances than anything else. Okay. All right. Yeah, if you have more questions about that, just shoot me an email and we can talk about it. But I think it's pretty clear. Enculturation, that's just the process of you learning culture as a kid. Assimilation is the learning of a new cultural or obtaining a new cultural trait, but sacrificing the previous one. Okay, so assimilation is basically, it's a more unfortunate circumstance where, like, hey, I used to pray at 5 a.m. every day, but because in this new society, I have to go to work, I can't pray anymore, right? You are sacrificing you're sacrificing the old thing for the new thing. That's assimilation. You're learning culture, but the new culture has to kind of like take over the old culture. Okay. Situational negotiation is exactly what it sounds like. Situational negotiation is just using different types of identities for different situations. If you were to ask me my background, I would tell you I'm Chinese. If someone asked me my background or like, who are you? Like, at Kingsborough, I say I'm faculty. If I go, travel and people ask me like, what's your background? I'll be like, I'm from the United States. I'm just using different identifiers for different situations. Okay. Oh, sorry. What limits are there to race, ethnicity, nationality with Diablo and Adam? We just talked about that, right? These categories are culturally created and they don't always accurately describe the cultural background of the people that they're trying to describe. Okay. Now, what is gender? I'm opening up now to you guys. What is gender? I don't remember what gender is.
With Butler, it is performative.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's a deeper explanation. But what's the difference between gender and sex? What's the difference between gender and sex?
Gender is, so sex is what you are biologically born with, whether you're
Yes.
female or male. Gender is what you choose to be, out of your own like free will, or what you identify to be.
Okay, so that's actually not the definition, but yes, your definition of sex is correct. Gender is the social cultural assignment of being of a man or of a woman. Okay, so like men have short hair, men look this way, girls look that way. That is gender, right? Because those are the things that are culturally assigned to us as men or women or boys and girls that are cultural, not biological. Does that make sense? And I actually, we should stay away from the choosing of gender, because a lot of times the choosing is not necessarily a choice. It's mostly not a choice, actually, because I personally, I was never given a choice to be a man or woman, right? We are provided our gender assignment, and then we just live according to those standards or against them. But regardless, we are living within that kind of like restriction. Okay. But very good. So what was Judith Butler's point? I think, was it Celia? You had a good one, that gender is performative, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now let's talk about how does she believe gender is created?
That it is unintentional.
Yes, that's good. Good. Remember that quote? Remember that quote that we talked about? Did everyone have the breakdown of that quote on them?
Yes, it is that it is repeated
Mm-hmm.
through regulate frames, so like the rules that society gives on us.
Yes.
And we combine it together like
Yep.
that. And then it's not and it seems like it's biological, but it's cultural.
Exactly. There we go. So I'll say the whole thing for you one more time. So we create gender by doing things over and over again within society, so much so that they come together, they come together and make it seem like it's natural, but in reality, it's cultural. Okay? The repeated acts, yes, right? And the repeated acts, for example, are the way we do our hair. It is the bathroom that we choose. It's the sports teams that we join. It's the section you go to in Target. It's the website we go to, whatever, right? These are our repeated acts that reinforce and reconfirm our gender. Very good. Okay. Now, that's pretty much it. I mean, you're gonna need to know something about the gender neutral stuff, but I think you guys all got that because I feel like that was a pretty good conversation that we had. Just remember the gender neutral video. I'm much more concerned about how they create gender, right? I'm less concerned about your opinion. I don't really give a crap about your opinion. But what I mean though is that I really want you to pay attention in that video to like, how is gender created? Basically, how does that video show what Judith Butler is saying is correct? And so what are some of the repeated acts, for example, that Mapa and Mama do for their kids to create gender neutrality? Okay, that's kind of the question I want you to focus on. All right. Can you please repeat the answer for quiz question 1? Oh, what's the answer for quiz question 1, guys?
I can't remember.
The blood?
Oh yeah, the blood. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. So are there any questions? Are there any questions about the test? Everyone clear? Okay. Real quickly, multiple choice questions, 10 points. 20 questions, multiple choice. And the short answer question is 10 points, 4 questions, short answer. You'll have 100 minutes to do the exam. Okay. Are there any questions?
Nope.
No. All right.
Feel better, Professor.
Thank you. Let me get the attendance for those of you that came late, and then I will that'll be it. That'll be it for today.
Yeah, I didn't. You took attendance in the beginning of the class,
Yeah,
right?
very beginning.
I was
Yeah.
late for 6 minutes.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. Let me get it open again. If I called your name already, feel free to leave. And if not, then have a good one. Have a good one, Yvette. Evelyn, no. Jaheim. I feel like I see Jaheim here. Let me stop the share so that you don't see. Okay, Jaheim. Jonash? Is Jonash here? No. Someone chatted. Have a good one, Celia. Thank you. All right. Beres, no. Satin, you here? Nope. Okay. Steven, I got you. Yeah, I got you. Michelle. I got you, Michelle.
Yeah.
Lubna, I got you.
Yeah.
Nathaniel, I got you. Mugmadzon, nope. Abdul, yes, I got you. Muhammad. Is Muhammad here? No, right? Okay. Montserrat. Naima.
Here for Montserrat.
Okay, here, I got you, Montserrat. Narmeen? No, Narmeen? I could have sworn I saw Narmeen here earlier. Okay. Kenya? No. Skyla? Skyla, you here? Yes, you
Here.
are. All right, Skyla, I got you. All right, guys. Have a good one. Good luck on the exam, and I'll see you all
Wait. I have a
next
question. I have a
week.
question.
Oh yeah, what's
I have a
up? What's
question.
up?
So I'm currently still in the middle of completing that assignment that you just assigned, and I'm trying to find the window on humanity chapter 2, but I don't know if it's like there or not. Because chapter 1's there, but when you open chapter 2, there's nothing there.
Wait, what? For chapter 2?
So
Wait, what
the
are you talking
assignment
about?
that you okay. So first, the assignment that you assigned that was due on I guess Friday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It asks for window of humanity chapter 2 and something of chapter 16. And I'm still
Yeah.
trying to find those.
Oh, don't worry about it. Just use the PowerPoints.
Just use the PowerPoints.
Yeah, just use the
Chapter
PowerPoints.
2.
Chapter 2 and 16.
Yeah, but where is 6? Where are those even linked?
So I didn't link them. I forgot to link them. So actually the readings, but they're from the PowerPoints from the previous week.
I see. Thank you so much.
You can
All
also
right.
go on YouTube and you're gonna find his page, like Professor Raymond's page, and you're gonna find a lot of PowerPoints. Whenever I can't find something on Brightspace, I go to YouTube and everything is there.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. It's the only problem is that sometimes it's not exactly the same, but it's more or less there.
Got you. And you're gonna send in a quiz after this class, right?
The quiz is already up, so if you want to take it
All
right
right.
now, you could.
Thank
yeah.
you. All right, have a good day.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Good class. I'll see you all next week.
Thank you so much.
See you, Lubna. I gotcha.
Thank you.